Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for the episode where things go down for the show that we've been waiting.
It's My Hero Academia.
It's My Hero Academia. And it's Uraraka versus Bakugo.
Oh my god.
Jacob, it's going to be horrible.
It's gonna
be wonderful.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna be so bad.
I think it's gonna be awesome because we've got a definite Bakugo's going to win.
He is. Like,
but
I would love for Uraraka
this
to win,
episode
no way.
is going to be focused solely on this fight,
and
which means
that
this will
amazing.
be an epic,
that will be
fantastic fight.
It'll be so good. I'm very much looking forward to this, but I'm dreading it at the same time.
All right, well, no dilly dallying. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
He's setting the tone for the fight.
Yeah. Or maybe he's trying to be nice by making her back down.
For sure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Getting close.
Really good for us to know.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you just have to get in there and... Oh boy. Just eat the blast.
No.
And...
Yeah.
He's gonna psych her out though.
Yep. Oh, but he saw it coming.
Yeah. He's just too powerful.
Okay. Oh, she'll use the smoke.
Okay.
Oh! Yeah. Yo! Oh! Yeah! Yeah! Oh my god!
Oh yeah! That's... Oh wow! Oh man!
Oh, she's still going.
Shoot!
Oh, this is painful to watch. But she's still going at him. No, technically not.
Not until she gives up.
Yeah.
Wow, that shot.
Yeah. Oh! Yeah!
That's a good point.
Well, no, that's what I was saying. They're gonna start bullying him. Yeah! Dude! Oh. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, Aizawa. Backing up Bakugo. Right.
Yep. Right, he's letting her come to him.
Yeah.
Because if he tries to...
Oh, that face!
Oh.
It's about time.
Start throwing rubble.
She's already been lifting things. Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh! Oh my gosh! What? Oh my
Did
god.
she really do that?
Wow. This is just gonna hit all of them though.
But it can hit you too.
Oh, I think she's planning on it.
Or maybe as it touches her, she'll be able to reduce the gravity on it, you know, so it'll stop falling.
Gosh. Oh my god. Oh, frick. Just the concussive waves were enough to knock her back.
Oh. Okay,
well, that's game.
No, she's not gonna give up that easily, unfortunately.
Oh, he's assuming Deku has some role in this. Wow. That is a crazy move, though.
That was insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's getting...
He's impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe upset at himself that he let her get that close.
Yeah, for real.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now he's actually...
But
She's actually
basically
respecting
done.
the fight, but what more can she do?
Oh. 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 Her body couldn't keep going, but she wanted to.
No.
Yeah.
This could all be a ploy.
Oh, that would be a sick ploy.
This could all be a ploy.
But I don't think he'll come up close to her. See, he's not taking her lightly. Oh,
Don't do that now.
she tried so hard.
Okay.
Oh.
Uraraka-san 行動不能
Yeah.
2回戦進出爆豪くん
What a fight. What a fight. What a fight.
You
Oh, and
did
she
good.
and she thinks she failed. Look at her, she was covering her
I
eyes
know.
out of like
She did
just
good.
ashamed that she didn't even land a hit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, dang.
They were watching on TV.
Okay. What? Oh my god! They actually are wrestling! Oh!
Whoa!
Kirishima's the hardest boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
They're doing the Armstrong thing. With
Yep. Yep.
and then, so useful. Wow. Just moving along.
私が追って全然準備が
大丈夫
見とるね頑張ってね
Oh, and here it is, yeah. It's okay, Uraraka, it's okay.
電話さっきごめんな父ちゃん
Oh.
こっちこそ忙しい時にすまんな。テレビ母ちゃんと見とったよ。惜しかったな。でもすごかったぞ。
惜しくもないよすごくもない
Oh.
最後
Yes, you were.
Yes, you were.
あそこからの打開策何もあらへん状態やったし乾杯
そうなんか。難しいことはようわからんけど、別に負けたからって道閉じるわけやないやろ。
That's true.
来年もあるや
Yeah.
ろ。
勝ち
And you still put up a good fight in the tournament.
いろんなタイプへの対応とか見せられんねん一戦じゃスカウトする方もわからへん
Yeah.
何を生き急いどんのや。
Oh.
だって早く私おちゃんたち
お茶子はもう急がんでも大丈夫やで。そんななるぐらい優しいお茶子は絶対いいヒーローになるって俺は分かってる。
だけで言えばオールマイトに匹敵する力だ。
Oh, crap. Smart people are watching him.
Uh-huh. Yep.
僕はもう行かないと
Yeah.
ではファンフォーオールのことを
Oh, no, I don't think more than like a handful of people know about One for All.
この人だけには悟られちゃ
Yep.
うちのショートにはオールマイト
Oh,
を
he's
超
still
える
talking.
君との
Oh, that, yeah.
としてとても有益なものだ。
Oh, boy. That was actually
Yeah, he's-
fairly civil for Endeavor.
そんなものを取り
当たり前のことですよね
Oh.
轟くんも
Yeah.
あなたじゃない
Oh. Endeavor's gonna take him so much more seriously now.
Uh-huh.
He's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's not only strong, but he's smart too. The biggest match!
Yeah.
文字通り凍りつかせた男
Literally left the audience frozen.
こっちはヒヤヒヤでの1回戦突破今度はどんな戦いを見せてくれるのかヒーローか緑谷いずく
Oh, boy.
轟くん
If Bakugo's watching this fight.
If Deku wants to be really crazy, he should just say, like, I spoke with your father just now.
あの氷結デク君どうするんだ
よく見て備えろ信楽戸村。
Oh.
彼らはいずれ君の障壁になるかもしれない。
クソみたいな話だ
Oh! Oh!
あの二人共にあなたを助けようと行動したそうですね
Oh.
なんとなくだがあの二人には何か近しいものを感じるよ。
Oh man, they really
Yeah.
are hyping up this fight.
Oh, boy.
トップクラスの成績まさしく両雄並びたち今緑谷 VS 轟
Oh, okay. That was almost everything I wanted it to be. Like, we got a fight that was emotional, that had stakes in it, that brought
Yep.
tears to my eyes, and we had
Yep.
a resolution that made sense writing and story-wise.
Yes.
And then we had the
Lead into...
lead into the next
The
fight,
next
but also
fight.
we had little moments that I wanted to happen, like Bakugo getting kind of bullied from the crowd.
Yep.
But he didn't listen to them. Like,
Right.
He
He
held fast, and even better,
Aizawa stood up
defended
for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
He
was-
was
that was
basically like,
amazing.
"Hey, you pro hero. How long have you been a pro?
Yeah.
Like, you should walk out of here. Like, you
Uh-huh.
should quit right now. If
Yep.
you, otherwise, you should eat those words."
Yeah.
That was impressive.
That was fantastic.
Aizawa sticks to what he knows to be
Yes.
right, and he
Uh-huh.
doesn't back down at
all.
even if the general masses.
And it's kind
go
of funny
a
because
certain way.
that sort of fits with his quirk too. Because if he can take away someone's quirk,
Mm-hmm.
then he wouldn't ever be intimidated or scared by anybody. He would stick to his own guns no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. But freaking Uraraka,
So
the MVP of this episode, because it's basically her episode.
Yeah.
Bakugo is in a way her mini arc story villain for this thing there, and he's an antagonist.
Yes.
And all the other 1A students jumping on the bandwagon to being like, "Oh, Bakugo, you're such a villain," but by him choosing to say, "What about her was frail?"
Yeah.
Now
yeah.
that adds so much extra dimension.
That's probably my favorite line from this episode.
Yeah, like, it was pretty high up there. I didn't have a favorite line. I just loved that moment where her Uraraka and her dad are talking to each other.
Oh yeah,
because that whole moment where you have someone that you really want to help, but you can't actually help them right now.
Yep.
It really hurts because you empathize so deeply with their situation, but you can't do anything. Deku had the same situation where he wanted to encourage Uraraka, but he just didn't know what to say.
Yeah, and
she
there
ended
really
up
wasn't
doing the
anything
same
he
thing.
could say. Like,
well, he was saying that. He was saying, "There's nothing I could have done. There's nothing I could have done." When in reality, there probably would have been something, but there's no way he could have come up with something quick enough.
Yeah.
But it's mirrored in that same way where Uraraka wants to help her parents, but she can't right now because she hasn't gotten an actual job with the Hero Association or whatever. So
one of the things that I was a bit surprised, and at first I was kind of disappointed, but then I was like, no, that was actually really good.
What's that?
Was that they made the fight between Uraraka and Bakugo so relatively short. They had Uraraka pull out all the stops and do all these tricky moves that were great, right?
Yeah.
But it really was just a it wasn't much of a fight. It was
a smackdown.
It was a smackdown. Like, she kept going much longer than most other people probably would have.
Right.
But it still was a no contest. Of course Bakugo wins. But I think that gave it that made it in a way a lot more impactful, because if it had dragged on, that would have sucked. And the fact that they made it shorter helped to emphasize the idea that no, it was
right. Also, it would have been a little bit out of place for them to cut it to cut up the fight to make it seem longer by having there be little moments of backstory or random internal monologuing, or
or the audience being like, whoa, let us explain what she just did, or whatever,
or what have you. So this was a good episode, and I think it's hard to acknowledge this episode individually because it's coming up before the episode
where it's setting it up the next one.
Yeah, but what happened here was Uraraka had been doing very much what Shinso did. I want to call a connection to Shinso and Uraraka here. Shinso has a quirk that doesn't work that well in the hero side of things, but Uraraka's quirk doesn't work that well in the fighting side of things.
Right.
It's a bit tricky for her to actually pull off it in a dual kind of fighting sense. So she was very much used in a supporting way in the cavalry battle, but also she used her quirk relatively little in the obstacle course.
Yes.
So in this instance, it's going to be tricky for her to actually be able to fight someone that has an actual battle quirk. Like, his quirk is just creating explosions.
Yeah,
there's infinite use for that in actual combat, whereas Uraraka's is more support based and kind of breaks the rules of engagement.
Yep.
Which is awesome, but without anyone else there, she's going to have some trouble. But this was her basically chasing after her dream, and it doesn't matter how much you try or how much you want it. If you don't have the necessary tools in order to get there, you won't get there. Right. And that's the harsh reality, I think, of what happens when you're in a society where different quirks mean you're way stronger than someone else, or you counter someone else perfectly. Yeah. Kind of like how Momo didn't even have a chance in her fight because Tokiyami's fights his strikes were too fast.
Or how Kaminari didn't have a chance against what was that other girl?
With the vines, because she grounded his electricity.
Yeah.
So it's all a thing of where we can get really hyped up and excited for people that have the desire to be there. Kind of like Bakugo in a sense.
Yeah.
Bakugo's mental like desire to just win and dominate the competition is powerful, but it's made even more powerful by the fact that it's assisted by his incredibly powerful and all-purpose quirk.
Right.
Whereas Uraraka has the same will, fire, determination that almost scared some of the other students in the very first few episodes of the second season. But it just wasn't enough. And I'm glad that I think up until this point, every single fight has kind of held to that. The people that win are those that have the better tools to win. Which is why this is why I predicted these fights would go this way.
Yeah.
I think so far you and I are pretty much 100% accurate on our guesses, except for the Kaminari fight because you didn't know the quirk, and I just guessed her because she's the mystery card, and I wanted another girl to win.
Sure.
So it was really a coin flip on that one. But for the characters that we did know and did understand, they won because their quirks were stronger.
Right.
Like now, that's all it was up until this point.
But one of the things that'll be really cool to see is that because there's in a world like this, there are just things where some people have stronger quirks than others, right? So they win. But in the case of showcasing their abilities for the professional heroes to see, to potentially recruit them as a sidekick, even if they fail, it's how they can they can display themselves and show that they're working hard when they fail.
So wouldn't it be the perfect justice for Uraraka to get an awesome, like, you know, kind of, like, get someone awesome's attention from this whole thing?
Well, especially since if you think about Uraraka's quirk, it works so well with just about anybody. Yeah. Like, the only person who has a quirk that is more, like, multi-purpose, like, working well with others than her is Momo. Yeah. So I could totally see her getting a good setup, even though she lost.
Yeah, I think that Uraraka is going to be one of those people that doesn't get looked at with a lot of popularity after this whole thing. Like, imagine Deku or Todoroki winning the whole tournament, right? Sure. Like our predictions. Whoever wins is going to become super popular, right?
Oh, yeah.
But, like, the people that get second, third, fourth, fifth, and all that, they're probably going to get pretty popular as well.
Sure.
So what kind of, like, effects is that going to have in the hero world amongst things? So I could see it being very interesting where Deku gets to kind of say, I am here. But every other character also gets to kind of have their moment in the spotlight where, say, a pro hero comes up to Uraraka and goes, you showed grit. You showed heart. Well, you have a winner's eyes, and even though your quirk was matched up against someone that made it very tough, you know, I want you to join my team, basically.
Oh, sure. I could definitely see that.
That would be awesome.
Especially considering that Bakugo is probably going to go to the finals.
Yeah.
So that means, like, it's a way bigger deal to lose to someone who loses early on, you know, as opposed to losing against someone who gets second place in the tournament, right? That's, you know, that's something that people will notice.
Like, for example, like Momo is going to lose to someone that's probably only going to lose to Bakugo.
Yeah. Whereas, like, naval laser guy.
Naval laser guy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because that'll be Tokoyami against Mina Shido.
Right.
And poor Mina. Like, Tokoyami's Dark Shadow is way too strong. So Uraraka had her moment with her folks and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that this is enough character development for her for now, given where we're at the story?
Kind of, but I want her to get more. Okay. I feel like they've done, not to say that they've done
adequately enough.
I don't. Yeah, that's better. I was gonna say they've done the minimum, but they haven't. They've done well, but I want to see more since she is one of the core cast of characters. You know.
Yeah, I think one of the things that they're doing right now with Todoroki, and you might disagree with this, is that they are
elevating him to core.
They're elevating him to core. And Uraraka, they're basically reminding us that she's core. Because it'd be easy to forget that.
Yeah.
Given how this tournament has been going.
Yeah.
So, as far as we know, the only people that have gotten really good, like, intricate, like, backstory along the fights so far is just Shinso and Uraraka and Deku.
Right.
But I really think that now that Uraraka had her thing, the next time we have an Ida fight, we're going to need some extra development with him.
Yeah, and I think we definitely will get that.
I would like to see also, surprisingly, I know this might be kind of funny, but since Bakugo's probably going to lose to whoever gets to the finals, I want to see him get some backstory.
Yes, that would be awesome, because so far we don't actually know anything about his past, just that he was born with a great quirk. Him and Deku were sort of kind of friends a little bit at some point.
Yeah, but I want to see also this you know, this thing about his personality where he respects people that are strong enough to kind of take what he can dish out.
Right. Yeah, because it's kind of like that idea of, you could say that he just respects people that are strong and can fight good and stuff, but I think that's kind of like cheesy and like taking it a bit too shallowly.
A bit too much, yeah.
It's more of that he appreciates the mental grit and determination, because since he himself tries to use that to solve everything, when other people display that, regardless of whether it works or not,
right,
he respects that.
Which means he's able to look at people's effort separate from the result.
Ooh.
Which is pretty cool.
What if they basically had introduced something where that was the reason he was so cruel to Deku?
Oh,
because he saw Deku as not having that, as
so Deku
constantly crying and muttering and stuff like that.
So Deku didn't work for it in his mind? Deku didn't put the effort in? Which is not true.
Well, no, because he was putting the effort in, but
I'm saying that Bakugo doesn't think Deku put the effort in.
Yeah, or at least the fact that Bakugo was able to bully Deku made him not respect Deku.
No, I think there's something perpetuating that cycle. Bullies generally were bullied.
Sure.
Bakugo, I'm getting the sense that they're gonna tell us at some point that he's actually not just a jerk for the sake of being a jerk. They're going to humanize him a little bit, and what it's going to be is something along the lines of his family setup being not necessarily Endeavor level of abusive, but something along the lines of, you know, kind of inflating his ego a bit too much, or maybe just creating a hostile environment, not necessarily a...
Well, that could have happened at the school, too. The
school reinforced the ego.
Yeah.
I'm saying that he kind of... Bakugo is very abrasive against those that just kind of come near him. Like, do you see that when you saw Deku's like, what do you want? Do you want to die? It's like, who says that to people? Yeah. But I get the feeling that those kinds of words are things that he's heard a lot kind of growing up.
Possibly.
So maybe he had like an alcoholic mother or father, and one of them are like kind of a bit too touchy, and it's like, hey, what's the deal? Getting too close? You want to die? And he's like, no, I don't.
Maybe, but I don't think they're going to do that because they're already going the abusive family angle with Todoroki.
Okay, then maybe they'll go the route of they're all way more competitive.
Sure.
And they don't
possibly
they don't like weakness.
That okay, I could see that. But what I think they're gonna do for Bakugo's development is instead of having him grow out of it, they're gonna have him grow into it. And basically, because if you think about it, the mental grit and determination that Bakugo has is a strength. The problem is that, you know, and his hot-headedness, that's passion. The problem is that he's directing it the wrong way. He's using it in just some dysfunctional manners. Right?
It's a bit counterproductive to what he wants to do. If he wants to be the best, he needs to stay focused.
Right.
And if he's constantly getting distracted to an extent by people being kind of annoyances in his life, then even if he took this the wrong way and just decided to shut out people entirely and just focus on getting stronger, he could get some positive things from that.
Yeah.
And eventually he might, you know, grow out of that other side of it. But
and
even
he is
if
smart,
he doesn't,
so,
yeah.
you know.
He is tactical. I think one of the things that people equate too much with intelligence is wisdom. Bakugo is inexperienced.
Right.
This is one of the things that I feel like people are like, Bakugo's so smart. I'm like, yes, he's very smart. But he also is
hot-headed and an idiot.
Very much a hot-headed idiot. So Bakugo has kind of the tactics thing. If you think about it from a game perspective, he has cunning. Yeah. He knows how to win. He knows how to get the upper hand on someone else. He knows how to intimidate. He knows how to devise a strategy. That's all like tactics stuff. But in the big picture, Bakugo's like missing out on actually a whole lot of what it means to be a hero and being in UA.
Yes. By
focusing too much on being able to beat people in fights and stuff.
Yeah.
I think he wants that kind of renown and that popularity that All Might has. But I think one of the things that he's doing to kind of build it up is he's trying to be... it's like he's peacocking, basically, where he's trying to gain as much attention as possible through any means possible.
No such thing as bad press.
Yeah, exactly. So even though he realizes that he's making everyone hate him, he knows
they're at least
that's
acknowledging him.
That's a way to acknowledge him. Exactly.
Yeah.
That could be another thing I could see coming from the family perspective, is that he was never acknowledged, really.
Maybe until he got his quirk?
Well, no. I mean, even with his quirk, let's just say it's a thing where everyone else's quirk is way stronger than his. And so you can sweat nitroglycerin, who cares, you know?
Sure.
Like, what if that was just the case? They're just like, who cares about your dumb quirk? It's like, but everyone else cares about it, and he tries to do whatever he can to make other people care about it because he's not getting that kind of attention at home. It's fueled by ego, sure, but there's also the love and connection that could come from that as well.
Now,
I don't know, it's just a thought.
Now, that part where Endeavor went up to Deku.
Mm-hmm.
So can we talk about that for a second? Because, like, there's the idea that he made the connection between Deku and All Might.
Pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Then there was the idea that he actually seemed... I mean, it was condescending as all crap and almost kind of threatening, but he was...
being polite about it.
He was being polite about it, yeah. And then, of course, Deku...
responding perfectly.
Oh my gosh, that was...
Oh, that was such a good response, Deku.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that, because we've been drawing the connection between Deku and Todoroki kind of having the expectations put on them in a positive sense from All Might, but in a negative sense from Endeavor. But also, not only that, they both have a burden to essentially please their elders.
Yes.
They're both handling it different ways, but the burden is there. And even if Deku's is lighter and it's not as oppressive and it's not aggressive either.
Right.
It's still a burden that Deku probably feels, so they could understand each other so well from that perspective.
Yeah.
And him saying, you know, I'm not All Might. He's like, yeah, well, obviously. And Todoroki's not you. It's like, oh, he saw right through to the heart of it. And Endeavor gave him this look of like,
oh, yeah. Like,
what did you say, you little...
and the idea that even before their fight, which is going to be the most difficult fight Deku has had, like, this far, he stood up for Todoroki. Like he stood up for the person that is just about to be his enemy in, like, 10 seconds.
Well, that makes me think of something, then. If Deku is standing up for Todoroki...
Yeah.
Okay. What if Deku does start to beat Todoroki? Okay.
Okay.
He starts to beat him. And then Deku starts telling him, come on, use your fire. And he's like, I won't use it. And he's like, no, you use it. Your dad doesn't, like, own you. He's not in control over you.
Oh, that would be so cool.
And then Todoroki then just crushes him, and Deku basically is the instigator for his own defeat.
Okay, I still think Deku's going to win, but I very much want that to happen.
Okay, well then I don't think it makes sense to have it happen if Deku wins.
Oh no, I could...
Well, so he uses his fire, and it's just something that he's not able to fully commit to, and then Deku...
Well, no, maybe he uses his fire, and it's insane, but because okay, there's from the standpoint of what it will be like for Todoroki, like what the effect of winning or losing or whatever will have on Todoroki, right?
Sure.
And coming to accept the side from his father. But then there's also his father is watching this, right? So it has to be clear that his father has lost what he's trying to do, right?
Sure.
So there's having Todoroki accept it for himself. But if Todoroki does that and he still loses, then it could be this ultimate burn to his dad that basically, even with all the crazy stuff that he did, all the time he spent trying to prepare this, this specimen to beat All Might, it's still not enough.
It's still not enough because it couldn't beat one kid that has similar power.
Yep.
That's something I like, but I don't think it's reasonable.
Okay.
I don't think it's reasonable because we're still in that place where everyone that's won has won because they have a stronger quirk. And we already had this debate, Jacob.
I know.
And I'm pretty much, I'm like Cementos on this. I'm immobile. I'm rock solid on this, is that Todoroki is stronger than Deku right now. Deku has more potential than Todoroki because he's freaking All Might, basically.
Yeah.
But Todoroki could literally just power up, lose his cool, all those puns, and win. And basically that would be the whole problem, is that now he's just shook because he
maybe, but from what they displayed in this fight and also in the Shinso fight, I don't think they're going to do that, because I think because they're going to take it one step beyond plus ultra. They're going to take what we think they're going to do and they're going to surpass it.
Oh, I hope that I am surprised, but I hope I'm surprised and Todoroki still wins.
Well, right, because you don't want me to slap you.
Well, that too, yeah, but I'm thinking at it from the standpoint of Deku needs to go through some kind of training. He's been like, it's been kind of disappointing to see that he's gone so far, and since that part on the beach and everything like that, he hasn't. I've missed his training things with All Might.
Very much. Me too. That was one of my favorite parts in the show. I want to see that happen again, and in a sense, him losing could be the motivation or the.
Well, he could do training alongside the tournament happening. Like he could do a thing where, okay, the tournament's happening. Deku's not watching fights. He's training with All Might.
Yeah, that could happen, and that would be amazing because, like, okay, the whole shonen trope of training to get stronger is so bad when it's done wrong. But
it's so good when it's done right.
But it's so good when it's done right, because the one, it's something that, you sort of have to do in real life if you want to get physically stronger.
Let's get real here.
But two, it's the idea of pushing yourself, because conflict is what that's what makes us identify with characters. Yeah, struggle.
It's where it's at. That's why we loved this whole episode so much, because it's just Uraraka's struggle.
Right. And there's struggle that you have to do when you're like back against a wall.
Right.
But then there's struggle that you choose to do. And that's the stuff that really, like, I would say is really important to show, because especially with these stories, like, I'm not just talking about anime here or whatever, but just in general that have been coming out recently, most of the time people will have these gifts. They'll be really good at something, but we didn't see them work to get it.
And not only that, sometimes when it's training time, they're forced to do it because they have to be able to control it.
Or something like that.
Something like that. It's not a...
They need to develop it.
Yeah, it's not tied to character development. It's more tied to battle prowess, needing to be enough power levels so that they can beat the thing that's coming. That's very much Dragon Ball Z, and I'm not a fan of that style of thing. So, if Deku wins, he still needs the training.
Yes.
If he loses, he still needs the training. So I'll be glad to see that come if and when it does.
Okay, so one other thing. So they went to the villains for a little bit.
And they technically showed like a little like a slit of the big bad, who's voiced by the Kurako captain from Bleach.
And here's something. So that guy was shown at the very beginning of the season, and it was like he was reading a letter from All Might, I believe.
No, that was another character. Remember, we got
sure?
confused?
Okay.
Yeah. We thought it was the villain's hideout, and it was this, like, old guy or something.
Okay.
And he was like, I don't remember, but he was reading something, and you thought that he was addressing All Might by his first name at the time.
Right. And yeah, because and what I thought was that he was basically a previous One for All
that
possessor.
makes sense.
And if that guy
sense.
became but if that was a bad guy.
Yeah, it didn't give off a bad guy vibe once we kind of looked away from the house and stuff.
Yeah.
I also went back and rewatched the scene at some point, I don't know, like a month ago. And it gave off the vibe that they had, him and All Might had some kind of past relationship that kind of ended in an interesting or awkward way. Like they're just kind of like split up. And I get the vibe that, yes, this could be a previous One for All holder. But if it is a previous One for All holder, it could be basically All Might's previous master, essentially.
Yes, right.
Someone
that's what
gave the hair
to
pass on to All Might, much like Deku received it.
So along the lines of Deku needing to be beaten in order to, like, get that motivation or that catalyst to train, you know?
Well, yes, but I would say, like, to become the best. I don't think Deku has the greatest desire to become the best. I think he wants to help his friends.
Yes, right. But he doesn't actually want... Yeah, well said.
Bakugo and Uraraka are shown in this fight as being people that wanted to win more than
Deku.
Anyone in the whole tournament, basically.
Except for maybe Todoroki.
Well, Todoroki, I think... He
hasn't faced the struggle
He wants
yet.
to win with only using his ice. So.
Yes.
So he doesn't want to win also as much as
that's true.
Bakugo
That's
does,
true. It's not because he wants to win.
Uraraka.
It's because he wants to prove something. Now,
right, which is a good thing to say. That's why I think you could be right.
Yeah.
Is that he also doesn't really want to win as much as Deku does.
Yeah.
Well, they both equally don't want to win as much as maybe some of the other characters.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because you'd think that would make a lot of the other characters kind of frustrated with them. It's you guys have these fantastic quirks. It's very much like Shinso, and you're not at all treating this seriously.
Yeah.
Like Shinso, I think he kind of chided the 1A heroes about that when he came up with the other general studies and class 2B people, I think.
Yeah. So, but if Deku needs a kind of, awakening sort of thing like that. What if they have Deku beat Todoroki and win the tournament and all that, but then the villains attack?
And that's when he loses really badly?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that way they can make it so that he still won the tournament. He did the awesome thing, but then immediately after that he gets like curb stomped. And that could be a way that they still make it be the underdog thing for him because, you might have gotten lucky and won the tournament, but that doesn't really mean that much,
Potentially. Yeah, I like the idea of the villains basically coming in and being awesome again.
We need
not
to see
not
that.
a rehash of USJ where everything just goes wrong for them basically, but where it actually all goes really well. I would love
where they actually win.
Yeah, I would love to see more indirect influence from this Kurako really big bad villain.
Yes.
Shigaraki.
And we still need to see that Ninja Turtle guy, that Ninja
Turtle Batman vigilante
thing,
freakish
whatever that was.
6 blades.
And the crazy tongue thing, like he was some sort of
I'm more excited for
him
him than I am for the big bad.
I am too, actually.
Because that design that design is so good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Like can we talk about villain designs that actually get you excited to root for them?
Yes.
So
that is absolutely one of
there
those.
are certain designs in villains where they don't even need to speak.
Nope.
All you need to do is look at them and you go, "Oh, I'm rooting for this guy or this girl." Like I am totally wanting them to get their plan to work, even if I know it's not going to work all the way.
Right.
I want them to have some success.
Exactly.
Something about them gets me excited. This guy gave me the vibe that this guy is dead
on his own
serious.
side.
Well, potentially, but I think this is the kind of guy that would like not hesitate to kill people.
Right.
Like
even in kids.
Well, no, that's the thing is that Shigaraki, he had multiple opportunities to kill people, even though there was like the part where Aizawa was just barely able to turn off his quirk. He very much was a bad villain in the sense that Shigaraki is kind of like a kid.
Yes.
And they mentioned that in the very beginning of season 2. He is not the kind of villain you root for. He's the kind that you just go, ugh, like
you want to see him get taken down.
You want to see him
hard.
get taken down because he's just so he's just so annoying in a good way, I'd say.
And I mean, he's scary because he is a threat.
Absolutely. He
very
is a
much
threat.
so.
But with this guy, I get this air of mystery and vigilante stuff where he's like, I am going to go and dole out my justice upon this world.
Okay, Light Yagami.
No, really, that's what I'm getting is this vibe that if he's a vigilante and he uses swords, like in Blades and stuff, there's some kind of like tie-in with his quirk and everything.
Like the right hand of death.
I get it. Scar from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Someone that's a vigilante with a terrifying power, kills people no problem, and believes he's doling out like justice from God.
Yeah.
Like Scar is like that theocratic villain that comes in basically saying like, I am on a holy mission. Right. And I'm going to wipe away all the the non-believers or what have you.
But this guy, I get the feeling he's going to be like even darker and scarier and not like an anti-hero, just like, no, you're just terrified of him, but at the same time he's really cool, so you're...
Okay, I'm getting more of the vibe that he's coming in and he has his reasonings, and it's that when he goes in, he knows exactly what he's going to do and you can't convince him otherwise.
Okay.
Like, he's twisted in his look and stuff, but that's where he enjoys like what he's doing. Like, whereas Scar was being hypocritical, this guy is a bit of a sadist. Like, he enjoys the pain, he enjoys the killing.
But that's like, they'll need to but
they could totally make it work.
They could totally make it work, but I feel like they would need to do it in such a way that distinguishes him from the other villains, because the way they introduced him with that thing at the end of season 1, and all that stuff, he was standing alone on the top of like a skyscraper, right?
Very Batman-like.
Yeah, very Batman-like. So I get the feeling that this guy is a loner, for one.
I agree.
But so if he's a loner, that means he's not working with the other villains, which means that they need to have him... Or they don't need to, but they should have him be fundamentally different from the villains. Right?
That would make him kind of an anti-hero, then.
Right, except not the kind of anti-hero that ends up becoming best buds with the good guys, but like stays to the anti-hero.
Well, that's where the loving, killing part is in there. Yeah. I think the thing is that the villains that we've seen thus far are more kind of under the influence of a megalomaniacal, super villain, and their goals are world domination and ultimate power. Yeah. And this guy, whoever this guy is,
has his own motivations.
They're way more personal, way more visceral, yes. In that he wants to maybe be the one that kind of has his own point that he makes.
Sure.
Like, say if he actually does kill people, that he kills people and he's like Siler, like he's taking their power in some way. Like
I don't think they're gonna do that.
I don't think they're gonna do that, but like there's so many things that they could do where what he's doing is making himself like he's getting pleasure from it, or power, or some combination of the two, and he has to kind of fight against that own desire in a way, and that makes him an anti-hero. But he can't hold back once he gets into like I don't know, just like, I mean, I'm just imagining this guy like having like all his blades out and his tongue is out. Like,
I could see him eating people.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, he probably actually has that cannibalistic tendency.
What if that was it? His quirk you know, because he looks lizard-like, right? Or, you know, whatever it was that he is.
Yeah, definitely a lizard.
So maybe that causes him to want to eat people, right? And that basically, okay, what if, okay.
That would be really dark.
That would be really dark. One, that would mean that he couldn't be a hero. But what if that was something that even the villains weren't up for putting up with?
Because the villains are like, yeah, you're
no.
into some weird crap, man.
Like,
we don't mess with that.
Because he would probably end up eating some of them too. You know.
Well, okay, so let's say he's a vigilante and he's on some revenge spree because the heroes.
I see him almost as some kind of like crazy predator, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that maybe he was a hero. And his wife was killed, or his mother, or his kid, or something like that was killed in some way. And his quirk is one of those quirks that people kind of were like, "Yeah, you have your thing, and we'll kind of
but it's
work
kind of like
with
Shinso,
you."
Where
but it's like Shinso, where it's not commonly accepted.
Right. There's always that bit of mistrust.
It drove him out of the the heroes kind of thing.
I really hope he eats people, though.
Yeah, I hope he eats people.
That
would be awesome.
That would be such.
I just want him to not be a random.
Yes,
villain,
yes,
I don't want
absolutely.
him to just show up and be like, I've got my crazy thing that I do, and I've got my vigilante revenge story.
I want him to be a recurring character that is not on either the good guys or the villain
His
side.
design rivals most of, if not all of the heroes right now. Like All Might's design, yes, it's super cheesy, but it's incredible in the message that it conveys.
Yep.
I would say Bakugo's design is fantastic. I really love Iida's and Todoroki's, and I think Deku's design is a little bit generic.
Well, right, because he's the everyman.
Yeah, exactly. But then like Tokoyami's design, I love it.
Yeah.
But the amount of intricacy they put into that shot,
basically
tells me, okay, the manga artist, when he was drawing that scene, is like, this is going to be the most like chilling little cliffhanger tease for a character. I'm going to go all out in designing everything. And the anime's like, oh yeah, once they get to that part, they're going to be so teased and it's going to be perfect.
Here's a crazy idea that I have.
What's that?
All right, what if he's on a different side from the villains and the heroes, right?
Okay.
He has his own thing that he's doing.
Okay.
What if it got to a point where Shigaraki, he attacks, right?
Shigaraki attacks who?
He attacks the heroes, right?
Okay.
Like Deku or whatever, right?
Sure.
This guy attacks at the same time, or like basically
it's this awkward
so
moment
they get into
where
like a Mexican standoff.
It's this awkward thing where Shigaraki's there with Kurogiri and his portals and stuff, and they're about to do a hit on
and then
like maybe they'll kill a bunch of students or something, or they'll try to kill a bunch of students, and then this other guy comes in and he's like, wait, what are you? Yeah, he's got that that snake thing. He's like, what are you guys doing here? And then the heroes and the kids are like, what's going on here? These guys aren't working together.
And then maybe
and then Kurogiri is like, you get out of here, and he tries to portal him away, and he's like,
did you just try and do that to me,
bro?
Yeah,
he attacks Shigaraki and them in that case, and then they both kind of leave because they don't want to deal with the unforeseen circumstance, and the kids are all like, so what just happened?
Did we almost just totally die?
Yeah. Yeah. Great episode. As we can see, we're getting into the speculative discussion.
Yeah, we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves.
We're way out there right now. But this is so much fun, guys. We love My Hero Academia.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of our favorite new shows right now, and we're really glad that it was recommended to us. So you guys are awesome. And,
thank you for getting us to watch this.
Yeah, thank you so much. If you want to watch the next episode, which I'm sure is a doozy, go check out the link in the description. We've got our Patreon's early access thing, and you can watch the next episode's reaction right now. But yeah, we'll see you then next time. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.